drive home? Only twice. Only twice, yeah. Short and sweet. Yeah. When you're ready, Jeff. Thank you. We are Bluegrass Junction and we play traditional bluegrass music, which we're very passionate about. This evening we're going to explore the repertoire of bluegrass music. What are the forces that influence the repertoire? Of course, bluegrass music started in the 40s and 50s by a guy named Bill Monroe, who was from Kentucky. And it came out of the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, which run down the east coast of the US, an area that was colonised in the 18th and 19th century. Settlers set up a farm. They cleared some land up high up in the mountains and eked out a living. But of course, like a lot of rural areas, poverty and famine were quite common, and young men particularly had to leave home to find work. So one of the themes that comes out of bluegrass music is that roaming around, looking for work, mostly on foot, occasionally by train, but this idea of being a tramp and finding work was very common. So the first couple of songs deal with this theme, and the first one is a song called Walking Shoes.
My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. Stay on this side of town, honey, I won't be around. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. Stay on this side of town, honey, I won't be around. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. I'll be a long time gone from you, darling. Never hear me knocking on your door. You were the one that I was crazy for. Now my walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. walking shoes don't fit me anymore. Be a long time gone from you, darling. You'll never hear me knocking on your door. You were the one that I was crazy for. Now my walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. Stay on this side of town, honey, I won't be around. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore. Stay on this side of town, honey, I won't be around. My walking shoes don't fit me anymore.
Thank you. This next song is called Wandering Boy. It's written from the perspective of the mother who was at home wondering about where her poor boy was at, trying to find work.
And he was a wanderer.
He was wondering.
Out in the cold world, far away from home, some mother's boy is waiting all alone. No one to guide him or keep his footsteps right. Some mother's boy is waiting here tonight.
Bring back to me my wandering boy. There is no other left to give me joy. Tell him his mother with the faded cheeks and hair is at the old home waiting him there.
Out in the hallway sits a vacant chair with an old pair of shoes that he used to wear. Empty his cradle that he loved so well. Oh, how miss him, no one can tell.
Bring back to me my wandering boy. There is no other left to give me joy. Tell him his mother with the faded cheeks and hair is at the old home waiting him there.
Go ahead and find him, bring him back to me. Far, far away, wherever he might be. And tell him his mother with the faded cheeks and hair is at the old home waiting him there.
Bring back to me my wandering boy. There is no other left to give me joy. Tell him his mother with the faded cheeks and hair is at the old home waiting him there.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next topic that we're going to deal with is one that's actually very common in bluegrass. It's about the cabin home on the hill. So with a lot of rural... Oh, actually, Jeff, you're going to say a few words on this one.
I will.
Oh, well, okay. Over to you.
Yeah. It's,
You know, it's a common feeling to look back on the past and remember the great times, especially if you're maybe driving around in a district where you used to live, and maybe you might go and look for where the old family home was, if it hasn't been demolished by developers. In the Appalachian tradition, where so many farming kids left home and went to big cities to find work, they would dream about being able to go home and would dream about the great times they had on the farm. And I think it's probably the same here. If you grew up on a farm, or if you grew up in a country town, when you come to the city, even though you've got work in the city and there's a lot of stuff available in the cities, you miss the country. And that's what these songs are about. And there are lots of them in the bluegrass tradition, lots of songs written by homesick, lonesome characters.
This is called Blue Ridge Mountain Home.
There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad. I wandered on to the place I call home in those Blue Ridge hills far away. I love those hills of old Virginia. From those Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain far away, my Blue Ridge Mountain home. Now my thoughts wander back to that ramshackle shack in those Blue Ridge hills far away. My mother and dad laid there to rest. They're sleeping in peace together there. I love those hills of old Virginia. From those Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you spare me on the mountain far away, my Blue Ridge Mountain home. I return to that old mountain home with a sigh. I've been dreaming of days gone by. When I die, won't you bury me in the mountains? Make my resting place among the hills so high. I love those hills of old Virginia. From them Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain far away, my Blue Ridge Mountain home.
Thank you. Thank you. Fiddle tune.
No, Cabin in Caroline.
Oh.
Another cabin song.
Plenty of cabin songs. We could do a whole afternoon of cabin songs.
we could do a whole set of cabin songs.
I think the cabin songs in bluegrass music equate to the old bark hut songs in Australian sort of country culture. And I think if you lived in an old bark hut, you'd probably realise that it wasn't too hot.
Well, it was
in summer.
Yeah, that's right. Very hot in summer, bloody cold in winter.
This is called The Cabin in Caroline.
Mr. Nick Cawthorne on guitar is going to sing this song.
We'll have a
Get
go.
those instruments in tune.
Yeah, you'll need a bow, Trev. There's a cabin in the pines in the hills of Caroline, and a blue-eyed girl waits down Caroline. I'll be going back someday, from her I'll never stray, in the hills of Caroline. Cabin in the shadow of the pines, and the blue-eyed girl way down in Caroline. Someday she'll be my wife, we'll live a happy life, in a cabin in the hills of Caroline. I'm gonna pack up my grip, gonna take that road trip back to the hills, Caroline. Gonna see my blue-eyed girl, she's the sweetest in the world, in the cabin in the hills of Caroline. Cabin in the shadow of the pines, and the blue-eyed girl way down in Caroline. Someday she'll be my wife, we'll live a happy life, in the cabin in the hills of Caroline. When it's late at night and the stars are shining bright, and the whippoorwills they're calling from the hills, I'll tell her of my love beneath the stars and the moon above, how I love her now and I know I always will. Cabin in the shadow of pines, and a blue-eyed girl down in Caroline. Someday she'll be my wife, we'll live a happy life, in a cabin in the hills of Caroline.
Thank you. Oh, righty. Now we've got some fiddle tunes.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something
Some
about
dance
fiddles?
music.
Dance music, yeah. Fiddle was basically for dancing when the settlers moved into the mountains in the States. Most of the tunes they developed in the American style, but the original tunes, Irish, Scottish, and English melodies and ballads. People that settled in the States took this music to the States, as I say, they Americanised it and then presented it in their own style. We have a tune here called
Liza Jane.
Oh, right.
Goodbye, Liza
Look
Jane.
at the right list. Yeah, Little Liza Jane. It's an old, really a dance tune for sure. But we'll try. We're going to get Jeffrey on this fiddle here, and I'll stick to this one.
Rightio, good.
Take step left, Chris.
Okay.
Step left.
Left.
Yeah, that's
Rightio.
it. That's it. That's it. Get in.
How
Here
you
we
gonna
go.
you've got to do some singing.
Yeah. I'll part the waves.
Okay.
Swing your ma, swing your pa, goodbye, goodbye. Swing that gal from Arkansas, goodbye, Liza Jane. Liza Jane got her hair red, goodbye, goodbye. Queen of hearts, so she said, goodbye, Liza Jane. Oh, how I love her, ain't that a shame? Oh, how I love her, goodbye, Liza Jane. Oh, how I love her, ain't that a shame? Oh, how
you just see them swinging around doing a do-si-do and swinging that girl.
Full of
Sorry
white
for Liza
lightning.
Jane.
Full of moonshine, yeah.
Full of moonshine.
We got another fiddle song called Chinkapin Hunting. It's a rather bizarre.
Is that friendly?
It's one of ours.
It's one of ours. All good. Chinkapin. What's a chinkapin?
It's a little baby.
It's a nut, isn't it?
Acorn.
Yeah.
Acorn. No, not an acorn, Jeff. It's a chestnut. It's a
Chestnut. Oh, there you go.
So it is quite edible.
Hunting the chestnuts.
Strange tune.
Yeah.
Now we'll swap here
Strange
to,
title.
another fiddle. So this one, there was tremendous tradition brought over by particularly Scandinavian settlers of
Oh, the Swedes.
playing fiddles in different tunings. And as a fellow I play some old-time fiddle tunes with, he always carries 4 fiddles because they're all in different tunings. So when you wind a fiddle up and down into different tunings, fiddles are notoriously grumpy and it takes them a long time to settle down between different tunings. Now there are some old-time players that get away with it. I don't know how, but I always carry 2 as a minimum, and most commonly 3. But this fiddle is tuned up in. Normally the fiddle is G D A E. Just give it a little demo of the G D A E. Rightio. And we've tuned this one in. So we've tuned the G and the D up to A E A E.
Now you remember that because there'll be a test.
Anyway, Chinkapin Hunting.
Here we go. Tuning for Chinkapin Hunting. And we just jump straight in.
Potatoes?
Potatoes?
Oh, you want potatoes?
Yeah, we want potatoes. Thanks, fellas. So another very important part of the bluegrass repertoire is gospel music or sacred music. Of course, these settlers were Protestant, a lot of them fundamental, and they were very serious about their religion. So interestingly, church wasn't a big part of their religion. They would read the Bible, they would say their prayers at night, they would bless the meal before they ate. But actually going to church for a lot of them they didn't have access to a church to start with. So they just practiced their religion at home. It was a very personal thing. They weren't particularly evangelical about it. So, but those that did go to church, a lot of them featured, harmony singing in church, and that was a big influence on Bill Monroe and bluegrass music. So we're going to do a couple of gospel tunes for you now. The first one is called The Wayfaring Stranger. Saviour. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling to this world below. There is no sickness, toil or danger in that fair land to which I go. I'm going there. Jordan. I am going over home, and no dark clouds will hover over me. I know my pathway is rough and steep, but golden fields lie out before me, where my weary eyes no more will weep. I'm going there, see my Father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm going over Jordan. I am going over home. I'll soon be free from every trial. This form will rest beneath the sod. Now I'll drop my cross of self-denial and enter in my home with my God. I'm going there, see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I am going over Jordan. I am going over home. I am going over home.
Thank you.
That was a bit of an example of a quieter gospel song, which is something that Bill Monroe liked to do in his, the way he did gospel music. But there were actually lots of bands that actually specialised in gospel music. And of course, they couldn't play quietly all the time. They had to do some raucous ones, you know, overcome with the Holy Spirit and all that. So this next one is a bit of an example of one of those. It's called No Hiding Place Round Here. Trev's going to sing it. We're in E. In E. Yeah. Hold there, boy. Whoa, boy. Whoa.
So much hardware involved in learning this music. Try again. 2,
Yeah.
3. Sister Mary, she wears a golden chain. Sister Mary wears a golden chain. Mary wears a golden chain, and every link is Jesus' name. No hiding place down here. There's no hiding place down here. No hiding place down here. Run to the rock, hide my face. Rock right out, no hiding place. No hiding place down here. Now the devil, he wears a hypocrite shoe. Oh, the devil, he wears a hypocrite shoe. The devil wears a hypocrite shoe. If you don't watch out, he's slipping on you. No hiding place down here. There's no hiding place down here.
no hiding place down here.
Run to the rock, hide my face, rock right out, no hiding place.
No hiding place down here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, one of the themes in bluegrass music is the murder ballad, of course, and something that's very common in country music as well.
It makes for good tunes.
It does, yeah. Nothing like a good
murder.
A good murder.
So we like to do a couple of tunes that, I guess in a morbid sort of a way, illustrate this. But the first one we'll do is a tune called Poor Ellen Smith. Now, poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. If that doesn't sum up the title of a tune. But it did actually happen. It was quite factual, and poor Ellen Smith was in love with a particular fellow who wasn't in love with her, and she wouldn't let go, so he enticed her one evening into the woods and ended the relationship.
Permanently.
So she was shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground.
And he got his comeuppance, didn't he?
He did
Yeah.
indeed.
We're in the key of G.
G.
Yeah.
Poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. They picked up their rifles and hunted me down. Now she's sleeping on the other side of town. Poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. I've been in this prison 20 long years. Each night I see Ellen through my bitter tears. Poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. I got a letter yesterday and I read it today. Flowers on the grave have all faded away. Poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. Now the warden just told me soon I'd be free, go to a grave 'neath the old willow tree. Poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground.
Thank you. Cheery little ditty.
Roving Gambler.
Roving Gambler, this is an old tune that goes back.
Sorry, I've got the key wrong there. It should
Have
be
you?
A, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an old tune, the Roving Gambler. It was really popularised by Simon and Garfunkel, believe it or not. But I believe it was written in about 1909.
Is that
So
right?
it goes back a long, long
Wow,
way.
wow.
And it covers two great elements. It covers murder and gambling. Put the two together and you've got a recipe for disaster, and that's exactly what happens in this little tune called the Roving. I better put my capo on.
You better put your capo on.
Roving
So-
Gambler.
Although this talks about gambling, I think this guy wasn't just gambling with his cards. I think he was gambling with his women as well.
Yes.
A bit of a euphemism.
Could possibly be, Stephen.
Anyway, it goes like this.
my money down.
Lay my money down, lay my money down.
Well, I had not been in Frisco many more weeks than 3. Fell in love with a pretty little girl, she fell in love with me.
Fell in love with me, fell in love with me.
Mother, oh dear mother, how can you treat me so? I want to go with this gambler on the turning road. On the turning road, and on the turning road. I left her in Frisco and I wound up in Maine. I met up with a gambling man, got in a pokey game.
Got in a pokey game, got in a pokey game.
Well, I knew he was a cheating man, he dealt the cards around. So he knew from the bottom of the pack and shot the gambler down.
Shot the gambler down, shot the gambler down.
Well, now I'm down in prison, number 4 my name. The warden said as he locked the door, you gamble your last game.
Gamble your last game, gamble your last game.
Thank you.
Another subject that features quite often in bluegrass music and country music as well are trains. You know, can you imagine what it must have been like for a young bloke who lived up in the mountains all his life, and he's come down to a town, and he's come across a steam engine? I mean, how awesome must that have been? So a lot of train train songs really glorify the subjects of trains. Of course, it was an important way of getting around and hitching a ride.
The Iron Horse.
The Iron Horse.
Yeah.
This song's called Dixie Mountain Home.
Dixie Home.
Dixie Home, and we've got the train ending.
Oh, yeah.
Now when I left my old home, look at this home. What's the first word?
Do the chorus. Hear the special coming in a minute.
I hear the special coming. I'll be on the blind. She who's half the Dixie
On that Mason-Dixon line.
Now when I left the old home, I wasn't satisfied. When I kissed mother goodbye, oh, she hung down her head and cried. I hear the special coming. I'll be on the blind. When she moves half Dixie
On that Mason-Dixon line.
There was a girl in Dixie who was my childhood pal. She said if I quit bumming, that she would be my gal. I hear the special coming, and I'll be on the blind when she moves half the Dixie
On that Mason-Dixon line.
hear the special coming. I'll be on the fly. She looks up Dixie on that fast Nixon line.
We're going to have a little break, so we'll see you in about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll just leave you with a little ditty to as you go off to buy a drink.
Then I'll get my folio out of tunes and I'll look the words up to that song. So many cabin songs and
Here we go.